Hello, this is our Introduction to the Bible project on Philippians. We work together, me and Jackson and Will.
Of contentment. He obtains this contentment through joy in suffering, joy in service, joy in believing, and joy in giving. Paul's journey to Rome included a stop at Philippi, a town in northern Greece in the territory of Macedonia. Philippi was a Roman colony with little Jewish or Christian presence. Philippi was not necessarily safe for early Christians. The first time Paul and Silas arrived, they were flogged, beaten, and thrown in prison for being a public nuisance. Paul was in Philippi because he was planting churches all throughout Macedonia.
All right, so Will gave you guys a little bit of a summary of the town of Philippi. So I'm going to give you a quick summary of Paul's epistle itself. So Paul's relationship with the Philippians. Paul had established the church of Philippi approximately 10 years before the publication of Philippians, and this was during his second missionary journey. Scholars believe that the epistle was written over the 2 years of house arrest Paul served in Rome, and basically how the interaction went was the church of Philippi had been sending gifts to Paul in prison through their church leader Epaphroditus, and in return Paul sends back this letter of Philippians to the church through Epaphroditus. And this letter urges the humility and unity of the church of Philippi, who had been Paul's strongest supporters in ministry, but it also warns against Judaizers, who were Jewish legalists who had been misrepresenting the Levitical law and skewing Christ's words. Finally, in the letter, Paul also urges the Philippians to live a joyous life, and he recommends a secret of contentment, which is overall rooted in Christ. All right, so through our research and project development, we narrowed down the secret of contentment as the basis or aspect of our presentation. So Paul provides several ways to remain content in his letter, and they are as follows: joy in suffering, joy in service, joy in believing, and joy in giving. So the next slides are going to detail each of these practices while also providing a little bit of a video of how these practices could look like in today's society. The first practice that we're going to cover from the secret of contentment is joy in service. So Paul states in Philippians chapter 2, verses 17 through 18, "Even if I am to be poured out as a drink offering upon the sacrificial offering of your faith, I am glad and rejoice with you all. Likewise, you also should be glad and rejoice with me." So Paul is basically stating that even though the service in Christ's ministry can be strenuous, followers are called to rejoice in these hardships because they understand the purpose of their mission and the fruits that it can bear. So here we have a little modern video for you guys to show this practice.
Thomas, what's up, bro?
Oh, hey, Will.
What are you doing tomorrow? You want to come to the Vikings game with me?
Oh, dude, I can't. I'm volunteering in church.
Dude, are you for real? It's the Vikings.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta work.
Alright, have fun, bro.
Okay.
See you around.
See ya.
Paul was able to find joy in suffering by realizing that he was suffering just as Christ suffered. He was able to find joy and honor by engaging with Christ and realizing that if he died, it would be for the advancements of Jesus' ministry. This is a verse from Philippians that shows Paul's joy in suffering. "For me to live is Christ and to die is gain." And here's our video on joy and suffering.
Is that a Bible, dude?
Yeah, man, you want to sit down and read a couple passages with me?
Not really. Why are you wasting your time with that?
I mean, I can respect your opinion, but I find this stuff really beneficial for my life, and I think you can
Nah,
too.
dude. Nah. Read a real book, bro.
Might have to try it sometime. You have a good one, though.
Whatever, man.
Paul was also able to find joy in believing. Paul recognized that as a man he is not righteous, but his righteousness comes from his faith in God who saved him. Righteousness is not about ability to follow rules in the law, it is about faith in the Lord. With this, Paul always knows that he is saved and is able to find joy through that. Our verse Philippians 3:9 says, "And be found in him, not having a righteousness of my own that comes from the law, but that which comes through faith in Christ, the righteousness from God that depends on faith." And here's a little skit we have about joy in believing.
Gosh, I can't believe how stressful this finals week is. Tests, papers, presentations. How do teachers expect us to get it all done? But I understand that God has a plan for me, and this is all just a part of it. So the final practice we're going to discuss in our presentation is the practice of joy in giving. So Philippians chapter 4, 18 through 19 states that I have received full payment and more. I am well supplied, having received from Epaphroditus the gifts you sent, a fragrant offering, a sacrifice acceptable and pleasing to God. My God will supply every need of yours, according to his riches and glory in Christ. So Paul's able to carry out his ministry with joy, through the knowledge that every need will be supplied by God. Like the Philippians supplied Paul, God provides for his followers. So we have a final video that represents joy in giving in modern society.
Oh, I'm starving. I can't wait to eat. I haven't eaten in so long. Dang it, I forgot my wallet. I guess I can't eat now.
Oh, I can help.
You can give me a swipe?
Yeah.
I'd appreciate that, bro. Thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
In conclusion, Paul found joy while suffering when he was imprisoned by the Romans. And though he, believing in Christ, through believing in Christ, he helped plant churches, even though it was not safe in Philippi. All this gave Paul great joy.